Hey guys, what's up? Laser here, and if you are not a disciple of mine yet, I recommend you guys hit the subscribe button, even though it's probably unfair to ask you guys to do so without watching this video first. But anyway, we're going to be talking about a very common problem. I don't want to say a problem because that might cause some controversy, but a very common event. Let me say, parents. How many of you guys have been sitting down playing Xbox and you've actually had a good game or something, and then your parents walk in and they want you to do something? Well, I think instead of complaining about it, since I've been playing for so long, all these years, I think I'm going to try to find the hilarity in it, you know. Let's talk about the irony first. One of my favorite things is when the house is quiet and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm chill. Yeah, everything looks great. Yeah, you know what? Hey, I want to play some Xbox. Then I sit down on the Xbox and I start playing, and my mom walks in like, "Oh hey, can you go do this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure. Well, just give me a second." "Well, okay, could you just do this right quick? Just leave that game right quick." So I'm like, "All right, you know." So I leave the game, and then what happens after I start another game? Then my daddy walks in and he wants something, you know. And that's just the natural cycle of things. I'm sure that I'm not the only person that happens that I'm like, seriously, people, you know, just because I turned on the Xbox, everybody wants to talk to me. I mean, and one thing that happens to me a lot is when I'm recording as well. I like to have a quiet environment. Like, I close the door. I tell my brother, if my brother's in the room with me, I tell him to be quiet. I make sure my phone's on silent. I make sure I completely cut off all everything that might distract it. And I remember one time I was recording and my dad just busts open the door and he's like, "Hey, come help me with this right quick." I'm like, "What?" You know, and it's just these little things, you know. You could be about to get a Moab or something on Call of Duty or something, and they just say, "Hey, you know, I need your help right now," and you're like, "What? You know, why? Why?" One thing that many of my friends' dads do, and like what my dad does a lot is he used to do back in the day is "Hey, pause it." I'm like, Dad. You can't pause an online game. It's live. It's Xbox Live, man. You can't pause anything that's online. And, you know, they just couldn't understand that. I mean, think about it like this. Can you pause a live... If you're watching UFC or baseball live, can you pause that game? Can you stop anything in that game from happening? No, you can't do that. They're going... If you turn off the TV... the game is done for you. You know, you're going to, you know, you're gonna leave, but you know the show still goes on. You know, if you know, I just don't understand. I don't understand why they didn't understand that. You know, like one of my friends, you know, I give him a call. I'm like, "Hey, dude, you want to get on?" You know, I'm talking to him about 30 minutes, and it's just dead in his house. There's nobody in his house at all. You know, I'm like, "Hey, you want to get on Xbox, bro?" And he's like, yeah, sure, let's get on Xbox. We get on Xbox and we start playing. His little brother is just in the background. He's listening to the door at 105 volume. His parents are screaming his name and everything. And I'm like, dude, where was all this on the phone? We were talking on speaker. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know, man." You know, and you know, it's just a bummer. You know, it's just like the Xbox has some chemical formula in it that makes your whole family react. And like my family hates Xbox, you know, except my brother, of course. But yeah, they just hate it. And you know, and I used to always joke around with my friends and say like the Xbox is like the instant parental response. If you feel like your parents are ignoring you, turn on the Xbox 360, guys. If you're down and you need phone calls or you need a friend or something like that, turn on the Xbox 360 and pretend like you're doing a good job or pretend like you're having a good time. And I guarantee you, someone will call you, someone will ask you to do something, someone will bust in on you while you're recording. You know, it's just, it never fails. And if I'm doing absolutely terrible, no one will mess with me. No one will touch me, no one will talk to me. But let me start playing a good game. I start playing a good game, it's all over with. All over with. I'd like to know some of the stories that you guys have about people just ruining games like that, you know. And I mean, I say this all in all due respect to parents, you know. I love my parents very much, and I understand, you know, this game isn't important, you know. It's just not at all. No game is important enough, and if your parents need you, if your parents call on you, you know, you should really, you know, it's morally right to stop what you're doing and, you know, get your butt up off the game and go help them out. That's ethical. You know, that's the word I was looking for. That's ethical. But you know, it just bites so much sometimes. You know, it really does. And I'm like, couldn't you have called me 10 seconds ago when I didn't have, you know, 2 kills away from a nuke? Or, hey, I've got dogs, I want a flawless game, you know? Or you know, do what... One time my dad walked in and say, hey, son. I looked away. I was 20 and 1. I was 20. I was 1 kill. I was 1 thing away from dogs or something like that. And then he says, oh, never mind. I'm gonna get your brother instead. And as soon as he said that, I died. So I lost everything. So I mean, guys, you know, this is just normal stuff. You know, I just wanted to talk about that because I mean, hey, like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And until next time, I'm done.